This tutorial assumes you have Hammer++ and Hammer add-ons installed. If you do not have these two tools installed, please watch our first tutorial.
Hello, portal mapping and modding. Today I'll be showing you how to make exit and entrance elevators. The first step is to save your map, which I've already done, as we'll be using instances to do this. So first make an instance, and then in the instance path, go to Maps, Instances, Turbine Elevator. From here you'll see all of these different instance files that you can choose from. So there's a few variants. I'm just going to focus on Arrival first because it's the simpler of the half. So you can see how there's two variants. There's A4 bases and logic, and then there's just the regular logic and these two. The A4 instances are used in Act 4 of the game. So these will go from bottom to top. So these will move up, because in Act 4 you're going from the bottom, from Old Aperture, up to the top. And these two are like the destroyed elevators, which means that they are used in the beginning of the game and go from top to bottom, because we go down in the first half of the game. And each elevator is made out of two different instances. One is the base, which is, I'm just show you actually. This is like the actual physical elevator room. Whereas the other one, which will be the logic, to this one, this is the elevator shaft, like the physical elevator. This is where you spawn in, and this is where you go up. So you want to make both of these. I made the A4 base and A4 logic, and you just want to put these on top of each other. So then they intersect like this, and you'll see these cubes. They might be slightly different. I think I edited this, but you'll see the cubes, they'll align like this, and that's how you know this is done properly. So from here, I'm just going to make a simple room that just goes from A to B. And then the other side of this, I will make a exit elevator. Okay, so I have made the corridor between these two, and first thing I'm going to do is, this is for the exit elevator. I'm going to rotate this instance and copy it over here. And now we want the departure elevator. So now we look at this half. This is very similar to the arrival side, but this time we simply just choose the other one. So again, I want the A4 base and A4 logic. So here, A4 logic. I'm going to copy this by holding Shift and dragging. And then if I then switch to the A4 departure base, you now have both halves. With the logic side, I think I called this the base before, but it's the logic. So with the logic half, the base half. You'll notice the departure elevator has this exit fizzler. This is just kind of useful to clear the portals. Doesn't really do anything particularly important, but anyway. You can see these cubes again, made of skip brushes at the back. These will be ignored by VBSP, so you don't need to worry about these cutting leaves weirdly. But again, you align these together like this, and then we can align the entrance, which I haven't done here. I should do this properly. But we align that properly. So there's one more thing that I'm going to show you, and that is making a final instance. And if we go to the instances directory, it should be under transitions and arrival, departure, transition, ends. And we just want to have this in the map. This will automatically handle all of the spawning in, moving up, and then departure, and then transition to the next level. If your map is in the transition list, which it probably won't be, but if it is, it will do this automatically. Okay, so now that we're in game, we can see you spawn in the elevator shaft, you can walk out, and then you can walk through this corridor, go through the fizzler here. The departure elevator will come in, you can go up here, and go out. Now you'll see this gives the end of playtest message. This can be avoided by using Trico's instance, which I'll go over now. Okay, I can now show you Trico's transition entities. This is another instance. To install this, go to Pulse Mapping and Modding, and in the resources channel there is a download link for the vscript file and a VMF. So for the vscript file, you can navigate to your custom content folder, scripts, vscripts, and then in transitions you can simply put your file here and do that. And then for your instance, you can go to SDK content maps instances, and I'm just going to put this in the bottom here. So put this here. Okay, so the next step is to make a new instance and get rid of the old one that you've made. And this one will be the Trico's instance that you just installed. That should be wherever you put it, which is here and here for me. So this is the new instance. You'll notice it is slightly larger. And when you click it, it has all of these key values that are new. These are specially designed key values that allow the mapper to decide how the elevators here should work. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do elevator videos, because this is the easiest thing to do really. So in the key values here, I'm going to navigate down to arrival video. And now I want to set this path to the media folder, and I want to set it to one of these videos. So this is in Portal 2, media, and these are all the videos that you can use and you can choose from. So I'm just going to choose some. So I'm going to choose faithplate, and what you want to do is you want to give the full path relative. So you want to give media and then this. You do not want a file extension, otherwise it will not work. And then same for departure video. You can again choose any of these. So I'm just going to choose Vizela. And again, you want media / Vizela. Okay. So if you were to run this, actually no, not yet. I want to hide both of these, and you notice that we're left with I want to get the logic instance, and this is the arrival elevator. So if I want the instance to recognize this elevator, I want to give this a name. So I'm going to call this @arrival_elevator. And for the departure elevator, I want to give this the @departure elevator name. This is so it can target and find the proper entities that it needs. And now when I unhide this and compile, you would see this one screen would turn on. This is because we have not set the dimensions for the screen. So we can do that now. The default instance has a height of 2 and a width of 23. Obviously this will be dependent on if you use custom elevators or whatnot. It doesn't, this is just the default settings that you should be using. So I'm going to set 2, 23, 2, 23. This is for the departure elevator. This is for the entrance elevator. And now when I compile, it should work. Okay, so in game, we can see we have the faceplate video in the arrival elevator. And then we walk through this corridor. You'll see this one turn on with the Vizela video. You can see here. Okay. So going back to the hammer, there is one more key value that we can show. There's a few more, but the next one I'm going to cover is the scale type. Now, this is kind of a complicated key value. In the description, there will be a link to a Steam post, and this will have all the different versions of the scale types that you can use, but basically it controls how the image is displayed on all of these screens. So if it's like stretched, basically it's how it's stretched, how it's put on these screens. There's a lot, I'm not going to go over them, but the Steam posts images and it tells you what all of them do. But basically, you put a number here. I think the default is 1 or -1. I can check later. But you can basically leave this blank and it will be fine. There is this once video. This is pretty simple. If you put this to 0, then none of these elevator videos will turn on. And if you put it to 1, the elevator videos will display. There is also the random destruction chance and is destructed elevator. What this will do is it will make the elevator screens not turn on randomly. So for this to work, I want to set is destructed elevator to 1, and then put random destruction chance, and basically the way this works is the lower the value is, the more likely a screen is to be broken. So if I set this to 2, I think this is a 50-50 chance around. I'm not certain entirely, but if you put this to 2, the screens are much more likely to be destroyed. Put this to, let's say, 100, the screens are more likely to be intact. So we can try this. So back in game, you can see a good amount of the screens are off in the arrival elevator, and back in the departure elevator, we can see again, same thing, screens are randomly turned off. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to show you. If we make an entity, and I'm just going to make a weapon, I'm just going to portal gun, this, and then I give it the name @portalgun preset, like this. We can now set the portal gun that I want to use at the beginning of the level. So this is what you'll spawn in with. So let's say I want a very distinct portal gun, so let's say I turn off blue. And then I go back to this instance over here, and I just want portal gun, I set this to 1. So back in game, you can see I now have an orange only portal gun, as was stated by the portal gun that it was here. It has removed it from the map, so it's no longer present, and I just now have this. You can also set the portal gun to not work at all. So if I want to set doesn't portal gun, just put this to 0, I will no longer have a gun when I spawn in. If I do this and I have this, I want to remove this, otherwise it'll still be here when I spawn in and you'll still pick it up. So as you can see, back in game, we no longer have a portal gun, and because I deleted it here, I'm not going to pick it up. This allows you to avoid messing around with axe prefixes like the SP_A1, A2 at the beginning of the map name, because that dictates what portal gun you'll spawn in with. This is a nice, easy way to work around that.